A day after the Russian president rejected a US proposal for a full ceasefire in Ukraine, Donald Trump has spoken with Volodymyr Zelenskyy on the phone to discuss the way forward to ending hostilities. It was the first discussion between the US and Ukrainian leaders since they clashed at the White House almost 3 weeks ago. The two leaders say they had a constructive call on advancing a ceasefire between Kyiv and Moscow. Mr. Trump suggested the US could take ownership of Ukrainian power plants to ensure their security. The Ukrainian president says the White House understands Ukraine will never recognise occupied land as Russian. Something Mr. Zelenskyy made clear earlier when speaking alongside the Finnish president in Helsinki.
For us, the red line is the recognition of the Ukrainian temporarily occupied territories as Russian. We will not go for it.
Russia's strikes have continued in Ukraine, and Kyiv has also hit back after Vladimir Putin rejected a full ceasefire in his call with Donald Trump. The Russian president also demanded a halt to US intelligence sharing with Kyiv. However, he did agree to a 30-day pause on attacking Ukraine's energy grid. The White House says US support will continue as negotiators work towards peace.
President Zelenskyy asked for additional air defense systems to protect his civilians, particularly Patriot missile systems, and President Trump agreed to work with him to find what was available, particularly in Europe. The two leaders also agreed on a partial ceasefire against energy. Technical teams will meet in Saudi Arabia in the coming days to discuss broadening the ceasefire to the Black Sea on the way to a full ceasefire.
In northern Ukraine, there were cheers and tears as Moscow and Kyiv swapped 175 prisoners in one of the largest exchanges of the war. 22 seriously injured Ukrainians were also freed as part of a Russian goodwill gesture. Some of the prisoners had been detained for almost 2 years after the fall of Mariupol. Others had been captured during Ukraine's operation in Russia's bordering Kursk region.
We are alive. We are really alive. We were just driving and saw people waving at us and saying, "Thank you. Thank you, people." As we continue to win, so we will defend our land and our country. We are proud of our country.
We are home, happy, in our native Ukraine, on our land. We have gone through a very difficult path. I hope all the guys will return home soon.
Kyiv made its surprise incursion into Kursk last August, taking the conflict directly into Russian territory for the first time. The land it seized had been regarded as a potential bargaining chip for Ukraine to exchange for ground it lost to the Kremlin in any future peace talks. But the Russian president says his forces are driving out Ukrainian forces in the area.
Our troops have recently conducted a number of swift, daring and effective operations. They are now completing the defeat of the enemy's troops in the Kursk region. According to our law, all the servicemen of the Ukrainian army, and especially foreign mercenaries who were on our territory and committed a number of crimes against the civilian population, are qualified by our law as terrorists.